Special treat here, folks. Please give a great big welcome here to the Mountain Empire Home Craft Stage 45th Annual Festival to Sparky and Rhonda Rucker. Thank you.
Well, we're glad to be here. In fact, I'm glad to be any place. You get a certain age, you're just glad to be. We're going to start off with a song of remembrance. So many of our friends and mentors have passed on. Sing it with us. I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling, Lord, to carry my mother away. Will that circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, 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 please drive slow for that body you are hauling. Lord, I hate to see her go. Come on now. Will that circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Lord, I follow close behind her, trying to hold her and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Now will that circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Said there's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Thank you for singing.
Thank you.
This next one is a camp meeting song. I grew up in Kentucky, and that's the birthplace of camp meetings. Started around 1800 or so in the Presbyterian church. Now, who would have thunk it? Presbyterians camping. I mean, that brings to mind all sorts of things like RVs and sending out for sushi and things like that. But they did start in the Presbyterian church, and it was all because of this. They were expecting this really great preacher to come, this good speaker. And too many people showed up to fit inside the church. So they said, well, it's July, it's nice outside, let's go out on the grounds. So they did, and they had such a great time. They did it again, and then they extended it and had, brought food, and then they, started camping, and then the Baptists heard about it. And they started doing it, and then the Methodists heard about it. And I think that's where the casseroles may have come in. I'm not sure about that, but actually the Methodists are the ones that are kind of known for camp meetings. I think it's because they've continued the tradition the longest. But one of the neat things that happened at these camp meetings was the musical exchange. There were a lot of white folks came to these camp meetings, and they'd bring their hymns, their 4 verses and the Amen, which is what I grew up singing. But there were also African Americans at these camp meetings, and they would bring those old-time spirituals. They would bring songs like Wade in the Water or Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho. And, they'd have other people singing, and the white people had never heard those songs before, so they'd sing on each other's songs. And then the African Americans would add, the choruses to those hymns, because none of them had choruses. They'd add syncopation, call and response, and so they really affected each other's music. And this song is kind of a blending of both of those. The verses were written by Samuel Stinnett, an English Baptist minister, but the chorus is an old Underground Railroad chorus. And the reason we know that is because of the code words that are in those old Underground Railroad songs. They couldn't just sing a song saying, "We're going to escape tomorrow," right? The slave owners weren't that dumb. So they had to come up with code words. So they say, "We're going to the promised land," meaning, freedom. Or "We're going to Canaan land," meaning Canada, which to them meant freedom. Because they could go up to New York State, they might be okay, but there was this law, the fugitive slave law, that meant they could legally come up, get you, take you back down south. But if you made it up to Canada, you were truly free. So that was a lot of times that was always the goal. This, I'm sure, is one that you've heard. Still sung a lot. So if you know it, please sing along. And in fact, if you don't know it, please sing along. On Jordan's stormy banks I stand and cast a wishful eye to Canaan's fair and happy land where my possessions lie. I am bound for the promised land. I'm bound for the promised land. Oh, who will come and go with me? I Thank you.
It's my newest toy. I got me another banjo. Somebody gave this to me. Yeah, you know, I found, you know, just like one of my other toys back here, if you complain a lot, people will give you stuff just to shut you up. Well, we're going to feature Rhonda on harmonica on this next song. Had some folks last night complaining that Rhonda didn't play any harmonica, so we're going to see what we can do about that. Now, anybody who's known me for longer than, 10 minutes or so, know that I like to delve into the mixture of what things are about. I don't like to just hit the surface. I want to tell you where it comes from. And one of the things that has thrilled me about our Southern Appalachian culture is the fact that the traditions go back so long. In fact, a lot of the songs that came to this country from the British Isles were songs that were originally collected by Francis Child, and he was trying to enumerate the songs, try to get the oldest ones he could find, and then he'd name that number one, and then the next oldest he'd name that number two, and so forth and so on. And they went back so far that they had some that were like fragments of songs. They weren't the whole songs. And he collected all those together in what he called riddles wisely expounded. And that's where we get songs like I Gave My Love a Cherry, and songs like Mockingbird, and those kinds of things that have those. And they're mostly about people meeting someone of a supernatural bent that gives them a riddle, and they try to answer the riddle. If they answer the riddle correctly, then he marries them. Well, Child Ballad number 2 dealt with finding an elf on the road. And this elf had nefarious tendencies, kind of like some folks running for public office. You can draw your own conclusions on that. But the Elf Night, it was called the Elf Night on the Road. Well, by the time it came around to Child Ballad number 3, it's called the False Night on the Road. And that's because by this time, there was this element of Christianity that had come into the old religion, and they said, you can't talk about elves no more, because that's like them demons that rode out on the tail of the dragon when he was cast into the fiery pit. And so they had to call it the False Night on the Road. But see, that changes the meaning of the story if you're taking it away from a supernatural being. And that was Child Ballad number 3. Well, it goes on and on. Child Ballad number 4 is about the Elf Night and Lady Elizabeth and the Elf Knight, and that ends up being the basis for the song Pretty Polly in this country. Oh, yeah. Well, every culture has had some sort of story like that. Like the oldest riddle in the world is called the Riddle of the Sphinx, and that comes out of Syria, where people meet this supernatural creature, and he asks you a riddle, and if you don't answer it, then you're lunch for the creature. Well, in West Africa, they had a trickster that they would meet on the road, and his name was sometimes named Elegba, sometimes his name was Eshu. But when people down in Mississippi started talking about meeting Eshu on the road or Elegba, they said, well, you must be talking about the devil. And all of a sudden, there's songs like The Devil Went Down to Georgia, and the song that came out of Mississippi that Robert Johnson wrote called Crossroads. Whoop, 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 whoop. There it is. I knew it was on here someplace. Went down to the crossroad, fell down on my knees. I fell down on my knees. Went down to the crossroad, fell down on my knees. Well, I asked the Lord to help me. Cried, Lord, won't you help me, please? the flag a ride. I tried to thumb it, went down to the crossroad. I tried to flag a ride. Well, you know that nobody seemed to know me. Everybody just passed me by. Whoa, said the sun is going down. Good Lord, don't let him catch me here. Don't let the devil catch me. Sun's going down. Don't let the devil catch me here. I can feel the high wind rise, and the Lord is drawing near. You can run. You can tell my friend, poor Willie Brown. Go tell old Will. You can run, you can run, you can tell my friend, poor Willie Brown. Well, I went down to the crossroad. I believe I'm sinking down. I'm sinking. Yeah. Thank you.
The main note is gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's just
So-
won't play.
So what keys do you have that work? I mean, which harps you have that work? Can you
other
do
ones.
the other one? Okay.
Which other one?
Well,
There's, oh, that one. Yeah, I can do that.
how about
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, because I was thinking instead of the story, we would do that song,
Do what?
instead of the story, we could do Blues.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Right.
Yeah, I can do that.
We're poor folk singers, and when our harmonicas go out, we just can't afford them. You know, that's just all it is to it. Jack Wright won't buy me a new harp.
No, it won't.
Jack Wright. I learned that from Tommy Bledsoe. Jack Wright.
As if he doesn't know that. This next one is one that comes out of the civil rights movement, written by James Bevel and Bernard Lafayette. And they were two giants in the civil rights movement. In fact, James Bevel was one of the people that organized the kids down in Birmingham. You know, all the pictures that ended up splashed on the front pages of the newspaper and Life magazine and whatnot about the kids and the fire hoses and the police dogs and all that. James Bevel was the one that organized those kids and got them to march.
And had those kids not marched, things would have been different in this country.
Yeah, really it was a turning point in the civil rights movement. But James Bevel, he talked about how they came to write this song. He said he grew up during segregation, grew up in a black neighborhood, but he could look over and he could see the white neighborhood from his house. And he, Mama, can I go over there and play with that kid? No, it's not allowed. And of course, with the white kids, it was the same. Can I go over there and play? He's got a cool toy. No, it's not allowed. But James Bevel said he noticed something else. He said he noticed that his dog didn't have any problems going over there in that other neighborhood and playing with that other kid's dog. So, I mean, look at the dogs of the world. They got life figured out better than we do, I believe, Black dog play with the white dog play with the yellow dog play with the red dog, they don't care what color they are. They're just ready to play and have a good time, right? So they wrote this song called Dog Dog. I'm going to play the bones on this song. This is a really, really old instrument. I mean, we're talking about going to Old Testament times for this instrument.
In the city of Ur.
Yeah, in archaeological digs, they found bones that they think people played as musical instruments. But they used rib bones from an animal, put them back to back so they curve away from each other. Hold one real tight, one not so tight. Move your wrists like you're waving. Practice for a few years. Fly in the ointment there. If you have two pair, you can do one rhythm with one hand, another rhythm with the other hand. There you go, Sparky.
I got stuff falling off of me.
I better pick up the tempo here.
Good.
You ready?
No.
No?
I'm ready. Let me get comfortable.
Okay, Norton. My dog loves your dog.
Your dog loves my dog.
My dog loves your dog. And your dog loves my dog. Then why can't we sit under the apple tree? My little doggy was playing one day.
Said dog, 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 dog.
Down in the meadow by a bundle of hay.
Said dog, 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 dog.
Another little doggy came along.
Said dog, 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 dog.
He said, let's get together and eat that bone.
Dog, 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 dog.
Then why can't we sit under the apple tree? You walk a walk with me. You talk with me. Why can't you hold my hand and tell me you understand now? Can't you see that you and me would be so happy? We're gonna sit under the apple tree. My dog loves your dog. Your dog loves my dog. My dog loves your dog. Your dog loves my dog. Then why can't we sit under the apple tree? My dog loves your dog. Your dog loves my dog. My dog loves your dog. Your dog loves my dog.
Talk about a
My
bird
dog
dog.
loves your dog.
Talk about a
Your
white
dog
dog.
loves my
I'm
dog.
talking about a
My
bulldog.
dog loves your
I
dog.
said,
Why can't we sit under the apple tree? Whoa! Thank you.
okay, so we're going to try this harmonica thing one more time. This is a song I recorded before I met Rhonda. I keep telling her I was grown before I met her, but you know, that don't seem to matter. Oh, this is back off my album Drive Back the Night. Song from Willie Brown. And in that song, that at Crossroads, it says, you can run, tell my friend poor Willie Brown. Well, this is a song Willie Brown wrote. Back during the Depression, remember back in the days when folks had no money? Kind of like today. And back during the Depression times, and especially folks down on the subsistence farms down in the Delta region and whatnot, it got so bad that people decided to give up farming and to go north to the big cities, the big industrial cities like Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Now, how bad has things gotten that moving to Cleveland sounds like a good idea? You know times was hard back in them days. And so he decided he was going to catch the train, the Mobile, Ohio Railroad. It's called the M&O Blues. When I leave here now, gonna catch that M&O. When I leave here now, gonna catch that M&O. I'm gonna go someplace I've never been before. I had an ocean, Lord, and I believe I will. Started to kill my baby till she laid down across my bed. I got evil one morning, started to kill that woman till she laid down across my bed. Oh, but Lord, she looked so ambitious till I took back every word I had said. Best harmonica player. Honey, do you love me now? Baby, you know I do. Well, honey, do you love me? Baby, you know I do. Lord, you know doggone well I don't love nobody else but you. That's why when I leave here now, gonna catch that M&O. When I leave here now, gonna catch that M&O. I'm gonna go someplace I've never been before. M&O Blues, thank you. That's something I don't do in your school, Tom, when I go down. Let's see here. Oh, well. Well, since Rhonda's been playing some harp, I'd get to do one more harp song with me. That was a man named John Luther Jones. Came out of Missouri. John Luther. And when he was a little boy, he moved to Kentucky, a little place called KC. He always had the notion he was going to be a railroad engineer. Growed up, and they invited him up to Chicago to work for the Illinois Central Railroad. In fact, he went up there during the time of that Chicago World's Fair that some of y'all read about in that book, The Devil in the White City. And what he did was he would take people around, he would shuttle people around the World's Fair site up there. And so when the World's Fair was over, they said, we're going to give that train to the Illinois Central. And they let him be the engineer that rode it down to where he started living down in Jackson, Tennessee, about halfway between Nashville and Memphis. In fact, on I-40, if you hit there at the right time, you can stop off and see the Casey Jones Village there and go in there, and they got a real honest to goodness soda fountain where you can get some real hand-dipped ice cream. Woo! I'm telling you, and they got biscuits and pinto beans. Oh, Lord, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. These people don't like biscuits and pinto beans, I can tell you. They probably like lima beans or something like that. I think lima beans should have stayed in Lima. Well, finally, they said, Casey, we know you normally had this other route, but, you know, we got to get the mail through, and the engineer's sick. Will you take this train down just south here, going down through to Vaughn, Mississippi? Get on down there, but we're starting late, so you think you can catch up with the time? He said, oh, yeah, I can do it. So they got in that train, started heading down there. Well, there at Vaughn, it looked like they was trying to get some, because when the fast mail's coming through, every other train got to get out the way. You understand what I'm saying? Move that VW, because I'm coming through with my Maserati, one of them kind of things like that. But there were so many trains down there, they didn't have enough sidings for them to go on. And then all of a sudden, the brake broke on one of them, and one train was still stuck out on the main line. Now, this is before TV. They couldn't call folks up, on the cell phone and nothing, tell them, hey, man, slow that thing down. So what they used to do, they'd send a switchman out up the line. You remember when you was a kid and you wanted to celebrate 4th of July and your mama let you hold them sparklers? Don't hurt yourself now. But they'd also, when you got a little older, she'd give you them little things that looked like, about the size of a marble called a torpedo. And you take them in and pow! Fred Astaire, when he was in that, Holiday Inn, he did that impromptu dance and throw them things. Well, that's what they would use. They'd actually go up the line and put those torpedoes on the rails. So when the trains come out, pow! They'd hit, they go, oh, no, something's wrong down there. Better slow it down. Well, the switchman didn't get far enough north, and they're barreling down there, and Sim Webb, the fireman, hears the torpedo goes. He said, "Casey, we better slow this thing down." He said, "There's no way. I got passengers on here too. You jump off, man. I'm gonna try to slow this thing down." He was the only one that died in the wreck because he slowed that train down. A genuine hero. And they give him a song. Come on, you rounders, if you want to hear a story told of a brave engineer. Casey Jones was a rounder's name on a heavy 6-8 wheeler where he rode to fame. Where he rode to fame. Where he rode to fame. On a heavy 6-8 wheeler where he rode to fame. Called Casey about 4:30. Casey kissed his wife at the station door. Climbed to the cabin with the orders in his hand. Said, I'm gonna take a trip to the promised land. To the promised land. Help me sing this song now. To the promised land. Said, I'm gonna take a trip to the promised land. When he got to the top of Reno Hill, Casey gave out with an awful thrill. All the switchmen knew by the engine's moan that the man at the top was Casey Jones. Was Casey Jones. Knew the man at the throttle was Casey Jones. When he got within 2 miles of the place, number 4 engine stared him right in the face. Turned to his farm and said, son, you better jump, cause too low, the motor they're bound to bump. They're bound to bump. They're bound to bump. You know too low, the motor they're bound to bump. They're bound to bump. They're bound to bump. Lord, too low, I learned that little. I'm gonna do one last song. I learned that little tag from a man in Memphis named Furry Lewis. Furry Lewis could drink more moonshine than Doc Boggs could do. I tell you. I did a tour with Doc Boggs with the Southern Folk tour. You know, the first time I met him, and he's sitting there and getting ready to go. And he said, "Well, I got getting ready to go," and he unscrewed him a pint. He turned that thing, he drained that thing all the way down. I said, "Now that's a man that can drink some whiskey." Then he went on stage and played Mistreated Mama Blues on the banjo. I love that old man. You know, he told me, he said, "You ever been to New York?" I said, "Well, yeah, I've been up here." He said, "You know, they don't know how to make cornbread in New York. Next time I go to New York, I'm going to get my wife to cook me a couple of pones and wrap it up in newspaper. I'm going to stick it in my pocket. Make sure I take me some cornbread with me." You got to love a man that's going to take cornbread to New York. You know what I'm saying?
Real corn.
Yeah, now I ain't talking about that old sugar cornbread they drink up north.
Corn cake.
That's like pound cake, you know. And that's why the Civil War started. People think it was just slavery, but it was because Yankees put sugar in the cornbread. I mean, that's enough to make you want to go to war, you know. What we doing anyway? We shall not be moved like a tree that's planted by the water. One more time. We shall not be. One more time we're singing. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sparky and Rhonda Rucker, thank you. What a way to finish this first day at the Bill, I don't know yet. Give him $100 bill, he'll play anything.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. Yeah, because UT's probably losing to Alabama anyway. Yeah. It was 14-7 when I started. So.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Who told you that?
Man next door. And he said that the last one that Alabama's, it was on an interception. I am a roving gambler, gamble all around. Ever I meet with a deck of cards, I lay my money down. I lay my money down, boys. Lay my money down. I gambled down in Georgia, gambled up in Maine. I'm going down to New Orleans, gonna gamble my last game. Gonna gamble my last game, boys. Gamble my last game. She took me in her parlor. She cooled me with her fan. She said to her dear old mother, I love that gambling man. I love that gambling man. Ma, love that gambling man. She said, daughter, dear daughter, how can you treat me so? Leave your dear old mother and with an old gambler go. And with that gambler go, child, with that gambler go. She said, mother, dear mother, I'll tell you if I can. If ever you see me back this way, I'm gonna be with a gambling man. Gonna be with a gambling man. Ma, be with a gambling man. Said I am a roving gambler, gambled all around. Everything back. I started. A roving gambler, gambled all around. Ever I meet with a deck of cards, I lay my money down. I lay my money down, boys. Lay my money down. Said I lay my money down, boys. Lay my money down.
Woo!
You know, normally, if I forget the words, I look at her and she knows them.
No.
Did you notice we both looked at each other and was like, uh-oh.
Panic ensues.
God bless you. Thank you.